I found myself in politics from 2012 onwards. 2016, I campaigned around the whole country for President Mahama and the NDC. 2020, I contested for the Yawa Wagon seat. I nearly won. I didn't win. 2024, I tried again, but this time around, I was successful. And so my life has been a little bit of up and down, but all in all, I'm grateful for today. And then also, I'm also grateful for the parents that I have who are not here with me today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will invite the Honorable Minority Leader for his initial remarks. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, on page 2 of your CV, you have written your educational background, and you're saying that you did GIMPA BA in Public Administration 2016 to 2022. Correct?
Mr. Chairman, I think that was a mistake. It was 2016 to 2020.
So you will take the leave of chair to amend it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I haven't given you the leave yet.
Sorry.
Honorable nominee. And I'll grant you the leave. Leader, I think they said the audio.
So, Honorable nominee, back to the question. Page 2 of your CV, you have the BA in Public Administration 2016 to 2022. Is there anything you would want to do on the dates?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think I would like to correct it. It was 2016 to the year 2020.
All right. What about the same GIMPA, Masters in Governance and Leadership? Are the details there correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So you have the certificates for that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And your transcripts?
Yes, please.
Please, what about the 2023 to 2024 Masters in Natural Resources Law, University of Ghana School of Law?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You have the certificate?
Yes, please.
When did you graduate?
2024.
When in 2024?
I don't remember the exact month, but I think it was around May or April or May.
Before I go on, I acknowledge a senior colleague, the Honorable Minister responsible for Agriculture, Food and Agric, correct? Yesterday, his bosom friend and brother was here, and I didn't see him. He was. I didn't see him. I didn't see him, but he was here. You also say that you did your WASI 2000 to 2002. Is it 2 years, or explain?
So there's a mistake there. It's actually SSC. So it was from 2000 to 2002. That's 3 years. So 2000. Yes.
So it means that January to December, yes, January to December.
Please. Yes, please. So it was SSC, not WASI.
So can you take the leave of chairman?
Please, leave is granted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, you said your origin is Oti, and the hometown is Lipe Bala, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
That's where daddy comes from,
Yes,
or both?
That's where my father comes from.
Okay. And quite interesting. You speak English, of course, that's no doubt. You speak Fanti, that I attest to it because you speak Fanti with me. You do tree. Is your gun 50-50 or 100%?
My gun is 70-30.
Which of them? The Osu one or La or Gamashi gun?
The
Or the
Okonglo
Kanishi?
one. The Okonglo one.
The Ponglo gun?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then your Ewe.
Oh, my error there. Respectfully, I think I'm better than you, small.
Oh, Nyatepea.
Balkoi.
Oh. So, you mean you are better than me? Small.
If my answer wouldn't mean you would worry me, then I have to be.
Well, it's unfortunate. Mine was 100%. But when they took me back to Winneba, the Futu, which is a Guan language, took away the Anlo. And by the time I got to St. Augustine's, that was the first time I met the language again. And it couldn't come again, unfortunately. Because I lived in Chame and started my school in Chame. I lived with my grandma. Yes, and I could speak Manlo fluent. But I'm trying. I'm trying to build my capacity on that. So help me.
Mr. Chairman, maybe we can take classes together.
Very well. So, and then your French is also 100% or
That's
on
about
pay?
on pay, 20%. Enough to buy something and sell something and.
D'accord.
Merci beaucoup.
And you have said that you work as CEO Melo Foods 2015 July to present, and then KSD Ventures 2014 present CEO. And if I look at the scope of business, the KSD Ventures, you are talking about supply of building materials and production of ice for fresh fishmongers. If you come to the Melo Foods, packaging, distribution of ginger, cabbage and snails, distribution of approximately 50,000 crates of eggs weekly, distribution of 600 kgs of fresh goat meat and beef weekly, engaging over 7,000 smallholder farmers in 11 regions, and overseeing daily activity of 34,000 bed capacity poultry farm. So, you are a poultry farmer?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
How many people do you employ at Melo Foods?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Directly about 10, indirectly over 100.
What about KSD Ventures?
Just 3.
This is a business you own as a sole shareholder?
Sole proprietorship.
Or it's a sole proprietorship?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Business. Okay. Where do you live?
I live in East Legon, Mr. Chairman.
Your rented property or your own property?
It's a
Family property.
It's a leased property
Okay, so lease for how long?
for 20 years.
I see. But you've not provided the address here. You only have your postal address.
It was an oversight. Sorry.
So would you take the leave of chair to amend those records?
Leave granted, nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That all the amendments you do, when we are done, you would get it done by your secretariat and furnish them to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let me be very honest with you. My first encounter with you, I found you very humble and respectful. Your language use and how you carry yourself. What do you say to those out there who may have an otherwise perception about you? Because this our enterprise is driven by perception. Perhaps some utterances we've made in the public space, how we've gone about things and all, drive them into a certain direction. What have you to say to those out there who may not know, as I know, that you are humble and you are respectful? And I would want the records to reflect that this is what I know about you this day. What do you want the public to know about you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the kind words. Like they say, opinions are like noses, everybody has them.
That's not an appropriate simile. Opinions are like noses, please. Just...
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, I mean...
Everyone has a different opinion of other people. And it's just human nature that before you meet somebody, you would probably have a different perception about them. And I've had that quite a number of times, where when people meet me, they'll ask me, or they'll tell me that they didn't know this was how I was, and that they had a different perception about me. Some too feel that perhaps because of some movie roles I did, I might be a little bit rude and arrogant and so on and so forth, but I'm far from that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You've not said anything yet. You've not answered my question. You were only interested in making a case. This is Mr. John Demelo. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. John Demelo is a humble and kind man who believes in love. He believes in peace. He believes in humanity, and he has love for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you a Catholic?
A staunch Catholic.
Ah, okay. Do you have a firm belief in the rosary, the power of the rosary?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one here. Yes, please.
You brought your rosary?
Yes, please.
Are you familiar with St. Francis of Assisi's prayer?
No, that one I didn't get there.
Pardon?
But listening to you in some of the interviews in the vetting committees, yes, you've had a lot. You always say that prayer.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Yes, please.
Okay. You may want to read that prayer. I mean, it inspires me a lot. That great saint.
Thank you.
All right. Do you belong to any of the Catholic lodges? You know, the Catholic Church has some fraternal societies. The lodge, the Catholic Church also has lodges. The Knight of St. John's, the Marshal. These are lodges in the church. Do you belong to any of them?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apart from being a mass servant when I was young, I don't currently belong to any society in the Catholic Church.
Are you a regular
churchgoer?
No, I'm not going to use churchgoer.
Sorry.
Are you an active member of the church? And if so, which parish do you belong?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just be honest. You've been honest thus far. I mean, just be honest.
When I was in Tema, I entered St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church.
Before, currently.
Okay.
Let's move, because you are the last for the day, correct?
Yes, please.
And we want to finish you quickly. I mean, currently, where is your parish? You've not been to church for a long time. You know, let's close this matter so that we make progress. You know, let's close this matter and then we make progress.
Mr. Chairman, I currently attend Mary Mother of Good Counsel Church Airport.
Regular?
It depends on your definition of
No,
regular.
okay, so I will define it for you. Do you pay your tithe in the church? They have your records of tithe
My
pay?
dues, yes, please.
You, regularly.
Yes, please.
So who is the parish priest there?
Mr. Chairman,
No, John,
Mr.
John Nagbojidi.
Mr. Chairman,
John Gbojidi. John
Mr. Chairman,
John
they just changed him.
Okay, John, the one they just changed, the one who has just been transferred. Give me his name. You know, Archbishop is listening to us. He's watching, and I know many Catholic priests are watching you and I,
Yes.
including all the troublesome Catholics.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as Member of Parliament of Ayawa West Wogon, I do attend several Catholic churches in Ayawa.
John, you know, you are an honest person.
Yes, so far.
You have your rosary with you.
Yes, please.
We have all sinned
Yes,
and falling short of the glory of God.
that's true.
Don't do this and that. The man you are going to work with, Eric Opoku,
Yes,
he doesn't like this.
yes, please.
If it is this, it is that.
Yes,
And then just own up, let's move away from there.
yes, please.
The Mary Magda of Good Counsel,
Yes, please.
that you say you attend,
Yes.
is that your parish or not?
Thank
Be
you.
honest with me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do pay my dues.
No, we dues, Catholic dues.
Yes.
Dues at the
the
place.
church, yes.
What about tithes?
Oh, I pay my tithe.
At the same place?
Yes, please.
But
But I spread it across the other Catholic churches.
No.
As a
Menyo, Amega, Rumega, Mede Kuku now, please. The point is that the father who has just been transferred.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Are you now his council at large? Do you remember the name? The one you say has been transferred.
Mr. Chairman, no, please.
The new one who has come. Do you know his name?
No, please. I've forgotten.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with the marshals? The marshallans. Are you familiar with them? Can you say a bit about the marshallan as a fraternal society in the Catholic Church?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am familiar with them, but I'm not familiar with their dealings.
Okay.
What I do know is that my father was a member of the Knights of St. John's.
Okay.
But apart from that, I don't know anything about them.
Okay, so the Knights of St. John's, you must be a member. Though you are Catholic, before you become a member, you have to be initiated. Yes, not any member of the Catholic Church can enter
Yes.
their assembly, their meetings.
That's true.
And then when you are entering, there's a knock
Yes.
to identify you as a member.
Yes.
Who has gone through the initiation process. You know that?
Yes, please.
And then there's a handshake, a grip,
Yes.
to identify you as one.
Yes, please.
All right. And that is not unchristian, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. So it's a fraternal society within the church.
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Let me ask you about your referees. You've written 2 names. How do you know the first one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first one has been my friend for over 10 years, and he knows almost everything about me. The second one, too, the same.
When you say the first one has been a friend, specifically what do you mean?
Mr. Chairman, a very good friend.
So you think that a friend with whom you share the same esprit de corps is okay to be your referee? I mean, in your own view.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I hear you. What about Samuel Dafoe?
Same, Mr. Chairman.
Who is he to you?
He's also a very good friend who I've known for over 10 years.
Oh, okay. What does he do?
He's into oil and gas, Mr. Chairman.
Did you at any point attend KNUST?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What course did you read?
I studied civil engineering, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so why did you divert from civil engineering to public administration? Because in your educational background, you didn't list it at all, but in your leadership, you said KNUST, civil engineering student, assistant, you said organizing secretary, civil engineering student, 205 to 206. Then you also said Queen's Hall Planning Committee, 204 to 205. So I just wanted to understand why you were saying KNUST leadership, yet it doesn't have any space in your educational background.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've had a passion for acting and farming for a very long time. And so in my 4th year of KNUST or civil engineering, I had one more paper to write, which I didn't go back to write that paper, and I followed my passion of farming and acting. Hence, that's why I didn't write it in my CV.
Okay, hold on. So, where did you leave school in your final year?
I left after my final year.
Oh, so you did the 4-year civil engineering?
Yes, please.
But you had a paper to write?
Yes, please.
Which you did not write?
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Then you left to follow your passion?
Yes, please.
For acting?
Yes, please.
Okay, then yours is better than mine.
Please, I don't know about yours, sir.
Also, I'm ready to share.
Yes, please.
Because I did become level 300, I abandoned UCC, and I went to do law. Because I didn't like accounting, and I was struggling, so I left and I went to follow my passion of doing law.
Thank you.
So I don't have it in my CV too.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so that's what you did.
Yes, please.
But it's not too late to go and do that one paper to have your degree in civil engineering.
Oh, right now I have 3 other degrees, so I'm okay.
I see.
Yes, please.
It may help. You may try.
Thank you, Mr.
It's just a paper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you have also indicated that your second business, you supply building materials and produce ice for fresh fishmongers. So the ice, have you done a factory to produce the ice?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, please.
Where is that located, please?
Mr. Chairman, is in East Legon.
Okay. Is it at where you live?
Next door.
Next door?
Yes, please.
I see. And you've been paying your taxes for KSD Ventures?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
So with the leave of the chair, you'll be able to furnish us with taxes paid from 2014 to date, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
You can also furnish us with your taxes paid for Demelo Foods from 2015 to date, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you have stated your name as John Matthew Kofi Seto Demelo. Is that what you have on your certificate?
Mr. Chairman, on my certificate, I have John Kofi Seto Demelo.
No Matthew.
On my certificate, no.
On your date of birth, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Demelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
On your passport, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Demelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
On your Ghana card, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Demelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
What name did you register with the Electoral Commission?
John Kofi Seto Demelo.
So, in the Gazette and the subsequent communication to Parliament, the name there is what?
John Kofi Demelo.
Now, the letter communicating your nomination to Parliament, have you had the opportunity to see it?
I have, but I didn't pay attention to the name.
Okay. Does it have Matthew?
I may not recall, Mr. Chairman.
It doesn't. Would you want to take the leave of chair to amend the records? Because you are now going into public office and you don't want unnecessary controversy. This is Ghana. People can be petty and they can get at you on anything. You are now being ushered into this new life where anything goes. So would you want to change it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, I grant you the leave to do so, to put your official name in the right order and revert it back to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable nominee, I've been an entrepreneur for the better part of my life. I've had some good experiences. I'm concerned about something and I want to ask you. You started a nice business, sole proprietor, young man, 1984. You are not yet 40, are you?
Mr. Chairman, I'm 41.
41, very well. You are at your prime age. Okay. And you are doing well. Going into public service, how do you expect this business to survive? Sole proprietorship.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've handed all the operations to a new person who is now going to run it henceforth. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, wouldn't you prefer to drop this offer from Mr. President so you maintain your seat as an MP and build capacity in the private sector? Because from sole proprietorship, you're likely to grow and make it a limited liability company. With the promises in your party's manifesto for agriculture, you can tap into it and expand your business and employ more. Don't you think that is a better option? Then later on in life, you come into public service, the executive arm of public service. What do you think?
I disagree with you, Mr. Chairman.
Basis of your disagreement?
Mr. Chairman, because it's always a privilege to be called upon by the President of the Republic of Ghana to serve in a capacity, and in this capacity is the Deputy Agric Minister designate, and I want to do that and do that diligently. Thank you.
What do you bring on board? What do you bring on board? Because you are going to meet an astute politician, very knowledgeable, and in fact, if you check Hansard, this is a man to be feared. He argues with facts, and is not a man to dilly-dally with. To complement him, you must definitely have something on board. What do you bring on board? The country would want to know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Already I fear him.
But I'm happy you don't fear me.
If you asked about you, I would have answered whether I fear you or not. So
no, I don't want you to ask about me. You go ahead and answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know he's very knowledgeable. I've been listening to him. I've been studying him, and this is a great opportunity to learn under him. Him being an astute politician and a great farmer and somebody who is very knowledgeable in agriculture. I think this is the best opportunity for me to also learn under him and follow that same path. Thank you, sir.
So now you know your original T. How many of you have been nominated for this ministerial, deputy ministerial thing so far?
Mr. Chairman, so far, just one person, Honorable Kofi Adams.
Your home region, OT?
Yes, please.
Oh, so you are a Greater Accra MP. So your nomination fills the Greater Accra space. At the same time, it also fills the OT card. So you are from Greater Accra and OT, correct?
Well, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman, and also Central Region and Ashanti Region.
Okay. So, John, it looks like you have some presidential ambition. Oh, yes, because the way, because there's going to be vacancy. No, it's a privilege to serve your nation. Don't run away from it. No. Don't run away. You are an actor, a businessman, an MP. Come 2028, there will be vacancy. President Mahama is not contesting again. The field will be open. You are from OT, Greater Accra, Central, and Ashanti. Masa, you speak French. You speak Twi. Oh, you qualify. You are 41. You overqualified. In fact, you will be 44 in your prime age. Won't you consider it?
Mr. Chairman, there are so many seniors ahead of me.
Okay, so not now.
Mr. Chairman, if it's the will of God,
Yeah, all right.
everyone who enters politics aspires to obviously get to the top. If it's
Very
the will
well.
of God for me to get to the top in 2058 or 2064, I will wait.
2058, you'll be. How old would you be in 2058?
Very old.
Because we are hearing Asedun Katia, Julius Debra, Eriko Poku. We are hearing Eriko Poku, Julius Debra, Asedun Katia, Asedu Fabako, Asedun Katia Fabako, Julius Debra Fabako, Eriko Poku also Fabako.
Leader.
So we just want to be sure.
Leader.
So we can now say John Demelo also Fabako.
Leader.
Mr. Chairman, I also heard your name.
Don't go there. I'm not on.
Okay.
I'm not on.
Honorable nominee. Just one second, leader.
All right. So John,
I haven't said it. I was just you are leading the nominee into a very dangerous territory.
he has to leave some.
And the Fabako, leader, with all due respect, you are completely out of order.
Oh, very well, that's all. Just, John, you know, my posture has always been that when I get it wrong, and I know I've gotten it wrong, it shouldn't take anything away from me to say I'm sorry. It would help me to learn. I try to watch some of my videos when we are done with the chamber work in the night. If I don't do it in the night, I do it in the morning to check what I did the previous day. Was I too harsh? Was I too hard on myself? Did I do it right? Get some friends to straighten me up. When we mount the campaign platform, the rallies, we sometimes slip. Do you agree that we sometimes slip?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Let me open you up generally and see how you would recall some of the excesses, if any. Do you recall anything politically you've said that with the benefit of hindsight you say, oh, I shouldn't have said it this way, particularly so against your opponent, the former member of parliament?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I remember.
What have you to tell her?
Mr. Chairman, the words I used, I apologized accordingly the day after.
Okay. But they are not on social media.
Mr. Chairman, it's on social media.
No, I mean your apology as well.
It is, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Do you have any regrets coming into mainstream politics vis-a-vis the privacy of your business life?
Mr. Chairman, no, please. I don't have any regrets.
John, how would you want to inspire the youth of Ghana? Particularly so, you coming from the area, your constituency is largely of the academia stock, full of academics, students. What do you hope to inspire them with?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, for me, I want to inspire people to be able to follow their passion, follow what they want to do, and do it well. I'm a man of probably many talents. In the movie industry, I think I did quite well. In the business industry, I think I'm doing quite well. And politics, I'm yet to do well. And so when some people look at me, they might be inspired to follow their dreams and follow their passions and make Ghana a better place.
Have you read your party's policy on food and agriculture? Be honest about it.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
You've read it?
Yes, please.
What's the policy on food and agriculture?
Well, our policy on food and agriculture is simple. It's to just create food sufficiency for Ghana. It's to feed the industry and feed ourselves.
Through which methodology, modeling strategy? How do you hope to achieve that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the feed ourselves, we hope to produce more. We hope to reduce post-harvest losses. We hope to feed the industry, and we hope to feed ourselves and export the rest. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now, in the process of ensuring food sufficiency, how does this fit into this your slogan, 24-hour economy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Ghana is one country that has just about one farming season. Our policy and our plan is to be able to farm all year round. Now, if we want to farm all year round, that means we would have excess food items available to be able to feed the industry. Now, once we have excess and we are feeding the industry all year round, definitely these industries have to run 24 hours. And so that's how come we'll fit into the 24-hour economy. Thank you, Mr.
So what is the 24-hour economy? What is the 24-hour economy,
Mr. Chairman,
of the NDC?
Mr. Chairman,
share with us.
The 24-hour economy is one job, 3 shifts, 3 people. We don't see why Ghana should stop working at 5 o'clock. Ghana should continue working. And so if the industries are being fed 24 hours, definitely we need to employ more people. Definitely we need to move the economy forward. And so that is the 24-hour economy.
Which sectors are you going to focus on?
So
which sectors of the economy are you going to focus on?
Economy?
Yes.
Almost all sectors, sir.
Okay. No. The nation is listening to you.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So almost all the sectors.
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Right.
Those that deem it fit to be under the 24-hour economy.
Okay, so there's going to be a modeling program to allow people to fit into it. There's going to be a certain framework, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
When is that framework to be expected? Because you were sworn into office 7 January. Today is 25th of February.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
When should we expect this framework?
Mr. Chairman, the budget is yet to be read, and I'm sure when it's read, the clear guidelines will be outlined there.
So, should we expect a 24-hour economy secretariat at your ministry where companies will be encouraged to register in exchange for some incentives?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If rightly so, if that becomes very necessary, yes, we would have a 24-hour economy secretariat at the Ministry of Food and Agric. Yes, thank you.
Leader,
Okay, go ahead.
please.
You go ahead. I'm not asking him policy question.
I said earlier and then before, and you are pretty much a smart guy yourself, and you are aware of this. The nominee is here as a deputy minister designate for the minister. He is not a policy maker. So let's stay away. My advice to you, as my brother, as you do advise me, is that let's stay away from policy issues. Thank you very much, leader. Please, you can continue.
Honorable member for Awutu Senya West. The honorable member is on oath. He is on oath. And all convo must cease. So, explain your earlier answer. I didn't get it because there were some few distractions.
You call it my intervention and distraction.
No, not you. Hey, it's not possible.
Mr. Chairman, please, to which of the questions?
My last question.
About how it will fit into...
Whether in the modeling,
Yes.
the framework,
Yes.
there's going to be a desk or a secretariat at the Ministry of Agriculture for those companies, those entities in that sector to apply and to have some incentives as entities under your 24-hour economy.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, if it deems fit, yes, we might set up a desk.
Wait. In consultation with your boss,
Yes, please.
you are going to do what? I want to understand because we are recording you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You know, it's not enough to be on the rally grounds talking 24-hour economy, 24-hour to get the youth to vote for you. We are recording, so tell us, 24-hour economy, what in consultation with your minister, tell us what you are going to do.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
in consultation with my boss, if he so pleases the ministry, we will set up a desk. If it becomes
So if
necessary-
it doesn't please the ministry,
If it becomes
we should
necessary.
forget about, if it doesn't become necessary, we should forget about the 24-hour economy upon which you mounted your campaign and won the 2024 elections, correct?
Correct, if it becomes necessary, sir.
So it may not be necessary to set it up.
And it can be necessary, sir.
Okay, we've taken note. Now, are you aware, and I expect you to be aware because you are dealing in poultry, are you aware that inputs, particularly insecticides, fertilizers, do not enjoy exemption anymore, that the agro industry has to pay for duties on them?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
Now, do you know that this exemption that was denied that sector is really affecting the industry? Because you are a member of that industry.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Once again, one of our slogans was resetting Ghana. And so if it deems fit for us to be able to implement those exemptions now, we will. Because we want to grow Ghana and we want to make Ghana move forward in the right direction.
So you would want to suggest to your minister to bring back the exemptions so that those in the agro industry will enjoy that incentive to make it cheaper for the agro sector.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, if it becomes necessary, yes.
I'm just reminding you that your party was against tax exemption. In the past. So if you are talking about going to introduce this exemption, then the industry will be happy to receive this incentive. So repeat that assurance so that the records will capture you properly.
Mr. Chairman, it wasn't an assurance. It was in consultation with my boss. If it becomes necessary, we will implement it. Thank you.
How long have you been a member of the NDC?
Mr. Chairman, since 2008.
Prior to this, were you into politics, MPP?
Mr. Chairman, please, are you asking me if I was ever a member of the MPP?
No, I only stated MPP as an example. I'm saying prior to this, were you into politics, like say being an MPP member or CPP?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Just decided to take away our seat, which has been our safe seat all these years. John.
Mr. Chairman, I worked hard for it, sir.
Menyolo.
Melakuku.
Now, what should your people in Likpe expect from you as you are going into this ministry? You know, the Oti region, you're so endowed with agro potential. People, the farmers, predominantly farmers, now they've seen that one of their own is going into the ministry. What should the region expect? Oti region, the farmers are listening to you. John Demelo, the gentle, honest, humble politician. What should they expect from you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I wouldn't be a Deputy Minister of Agric just for Oti region. I'll be a Deputy Minister of Agric for the whole of Ghana. And there are farmers scattered all across. And so each region and its peculiar needs and wants in terms of agriculture. And so with Oti region, of course, I'm into ginger. They do a lot of ginger. I'll make sure that I support the farmers there. In Volta region, they do a lot of rice. I'll support the farmers there. In the north, they do a lot of tomatoes and onions. I'll support them. I'm supporting all the farmers generally, not just Oti region. Thank you.
John, what is your own personal view of the unemployment situation in our country?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the unemployment problem is a national problem, and we in the NDC, about to reset the country, will make sure that we'll create a lot of employment opportunities, especially in the agri space. And so it's a national problem, and we are here to fix it. We might not be able to fix all, but we'll fix some. Thank you.
Have you become aware of discussions in the public space regarding Ghanaians who are losing their employment as a result of the directive of the Chief of Staff? Have you become aware?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Are some of these your constituents?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Have they come to appeal to you to help them get their jobs back?
Mr. Chairman, my understanding is those who lost their jobs are being reviewed, and so those who will be re-employed will be re-employed, and those who will not be re-employed will not be re-employed, and so that's the understanding that I have.
Yes. So what, if you pay attention to me, it will be helpful. However, you have given me some information that your understanding is that those who have lost their jobs, those situations are being reviewed, and those to be taken back will be taken back. Now, don't you think that the appropriate thing therefore would have been to keep these guys in employment and finish the review so that you take a final decision after the review, rather than terminating the appointment that they should all go home in their thousands? I say so because you state that some are your constituents and they've come to you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think so. I think that sometimes when matters are being investigated, they ask you to step aside whilst investigations are going on, and so I think that's the rightful thing they did.
To terminate, to dismiss, because this is not about step aside, go on some leave of a sort. They say we've terminated your contract. I mean, that is what it is.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So you agree to that?
Yes.
That they should be sacked, as they have been sacked?
They've not been sacked.
What have they done?
They've been sacked, but they might be recalled upon review.
Okay, so let's stay there a bit. Now, these your constituents who have lost their jobs as a result of this termination, mass dismissal, what have you been telling them as they came to you? What have you been telling them?
Mr. Chairman, I've been telling them to hold on, that everything will be fine.
So far, how many, upon account, have been approaching you?
Not that many.
Go ahead, 100, 200, 150?
Maybe 15. Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, that had a lot of nurses posted to rural communities, all of these Ghanaians have been sent home in the name of this review, sacked, and people are suffering at the countryside, in the hinterland. You have passion for humanity, love for humanity. Do you think that these Ghanaians must go through this? Especially those who are not getting healthcare support because the nurses have been fired, and even the schools that teachers have been fired, and these students in rural communities do not have access to quality teaching.
Mr. Chairman, like I stated earlier on, the appointments will be reviewed, and those who will be re-employed will be re-employed.
The nation should expect that whatever review would be fair and not based on partisan consideration?
I believe so, Mr. Chairman.
Now, on your GRA tax certificate, you finished us with your tax certificate. Earlier in the vetting, you told me that you have your taxes paid up to date for both companies. But in your tax certificate, the personal income tax, PIT, we only have your assessment for 2023. And the Commissioner General tells us that 2024 is nil. Why haven't you filed your 2024 taxes?
Mr. Chairman, I think with that I would have to confer with my tax experts to find out why that is so.
Because it's quite, I find it very curious, because without filing for 2024, you couldn't have registered. I don't want to trigger any by-election. Anyway, so can you take the leave of chair to get into this and revert to us at least before we do your report?
Granted. Nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, at least for the record, let the prayer be made by him.
Honorable nominee, please go ahead.
Please, which prayer?
He said the prayer.
Oh, please, I'd like to request that I provide the necessary documents.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, for the records, the necessary document in respect of your 2024 tax obligation to the state. So make that prayer.
Mr. Chairman, I pledge to provide all the necessary documents with reference to the 2024 tax obligations.
Now, I also note that on your tax clearance, your declaration for 23 is only in respect of KSD Ventures. So the application you made was in reference to KSD Ventures. So do I take it that it's a composite application for all the entities you own?
I believe so, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Now, this sector, agric, food and agriculture, how do you hope to inspire the youth to get into agriculture? Vis-a-vis incentives to be available. Those who are distracting the nominee, you are close to him, the convo, because I see him paying attention. We don't want him to say, repeat. Please silence on that wing so that the nominee can focus. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, ever since I got into the agric space, or ever since social media became rampant, every time I do a post about agric and making agric look exciting, I've had a lot of engagements. I have had a lot of people wanting to get into the agric space. But what I tell them is that not everybody can be a farmer. And so you have the whole value chain. You have those who farm, you have those who provide transport, you have those who provide agric inputs, you have those who add value to it. And I feel and I believe that ever since I made it very public that I'm into farming, a lot more young people have gotten into agriculture, which is a good thing, because if you look at the average age of farmers in Ghana, we are talking of over 50, 55 years, which is bad. And so we need more people to get into agriculture. We need more people to drive the agricultural bus. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you agree with me that capital is a critical challenge when it comes to agriculture? The young men and women that you want to inspire to get into agriculture, get into farming, especially the graduates, people who are done with uni and moving to office with CVs, that you would want to encourage to get into agriculture. One of their worries will be capital, money, funding. How do you hope to address this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in all my engagements across the country when I'm speaking to the youth, I tell them to always start small, and they shouldn't look at the bigger picture. They should look at the bigger picture, but they should always start small. And so if your dream is to have 1,000 cattle, you can start with 1 or 2. If your dream is to have 2,000 goats, just start with 1 or 2. If your dream is to make or add value to whatever it is you're producing, just start with something small and grow with the business. And so yes, I do tell them that you should start small, because most of the time when you start big and you don't have the experience, you are likely to crash. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So from the NDC's manifesto, particularly your policy on food and agriculture, should the Ghanaian youth be assured that you are going to provide capital as an incentive to support them into agriculture?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not just capital, but we are focusing more on giving you items to start with, like the Nkoko Nkiti project. And so with the Nkoko Nkiti project, we are giving you day-old chicks, we are giving you some farm input, we are giving you cages for you to grow with the business. For other engagements like starting your own home farming, we are just going to give you some small capacity building to be able to start. And so it's not just about capital, it's about also capacity building. Thank you.
So when do we expect this? When should we really expect this?
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, we will let the House know, or the whole of Ghana know, when it can commence.
You know, Mr. President, mandate is up to 2028.
Correct.
The 4 years started counting from the 7th of January. So there's no time. Those hardliners who will be advising that chase your political opponent, you have to tell them that it's about jobs for the people, not persecution of opponent. Because persecution of opponent seems to have started, but the jobs for the people, not yet. So when the country would want to know, they've heard you on talking about what your opponents have done wrong, they've heard you, but what about your own mandate? When are you going to start? At least give an indication. Your boss is here. Leave can be granted for you to consult him.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, we'll let the House know when we can start.
Very well. We'll take you for your word. Now, this women banking, have you heard about it?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
What is it about? What is it about?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I've seen one of my mates right behind you. He's giving a signal that we should end soon. But I'm telling him that you're doing well thus far. So it's a basis for the continuation. But we'll be done soon. Don't worry. I know the chiefs have sat for some time.
Thank you, Mr.
But
Chairman.
it will be done soon.
Thank you.
These are relevant matters for the industry, especially as you are a young man.
Yes, please.
Your campus people would want to know the promises you bring on board in the area you've been nominated for.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the area of agriculture, or in the area of business, what we realize is that women are always a formidable force. They are almost always the ones who can do business and do it well. But unfortunately, access to credit or funding is always a problem for them. And that's why the NDC agreed or has agreed to establish the women banking to be able to lend money to women at a relatively lower rate, so that they can expand their businesses, they can create more businesses and create more jobs for the economy. Thank you.
So a bank is going to be established, correct?
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman.
With the state as the sole shareholder.
I'm not aware of the modalities, but what I do know is that a facility or a bank will be established to lend money to women.
With branches across the nation?
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So we have the NEIP, we have MASLOC, we have the Ghana Enterprise Agency. Particularly Ghana Enterprise Agency is providing support to our women. In fact, they created a digitalized platform so effective that you don't even need to know somebody to access that facility. You think that all these are not enough?
No, Mr. Chairman, with the kind of economy that we have, all these are not enough. We still need more.
So the resetting of Ghana, what does it entail at all? The resetting of Ghana, this whole reset, what is it all about? Share with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, in the last 8 years, our economy hasn't been that good, and hasn't been that good. Hence, the need to reset Ghana. Hence, the need to reset Ghana in all aspects of the economy.
When you say our economy hasn't been that good, I want to appreciate the context. Are you relating it to the COVID that struck the world, the external shocks vis-a-vis the Russian-Ukraine war and other external factors, or what? What exactly do you mean by the last 8 years the economy hasn't been that good? I want you to place it in proper context. I want to understand you. Are you referring to the COVID that struck the world, where for a whole year the whole world was in a form of a lockdown, where there was no production, where government had to pay public sector workers even when no revenue has been generated, where GRA could not go out to take taxes, yet every public sector employee was supposed to be paid? Please explain to me what exactly you mean by the last 8 years the economy hasn't been that good.
Mr. Chairman, if you listen to some of the comments made by the past administration, they confirmed and confessed that the economy was bad. And so I'm just reiterating what they said to say that the economy wasn't that good, hence the need for the NDC to reset Ghana in the right direction.
So in the general sense of external shocks is what we mean?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Then in what sense? I mean, I just need you to...
The external shocks affected everybody.
Right.
But Ghana wasn't able to drive out of it the way we expected them to.
No, explain. I just want to understand.
What I mean is that you mentioned COVID. You mentioned Russia, Ukraine. But Russia, Ukraine and COVID affected almost every country in the world. Some were able to navigate out of it, some couldn't.
Some of the countries that did a successful navigation...
Relatively, Ghana did poor.
No, it's okay. I'm happy with the conversation. I mean, this is a public discussion and for the records. Share with us those countries that, in your view, and you can limit yourself to the sub-region, those countries in the sub-region that, in your view, they navigated better out of the COVID and met expectation, and unfortunately Ghana could not. Please,
Mr. Chairman, I'm only repeating what some of your party members said during their campaign time. That
this is the honorable nominee.
Yes, sir.
Let's not go into campaign. Now you're a public officer.
Yes.
Okay, where you rely on data and facts. If you don't want to base your argument on some facts, statistics and data, then let's retreat and then make progress. But if we are going to say things that people say on campaign platform, even my own party members, as you're saying, then we cannot make progress as a nation.
Mr. Chairman, let's retreat and make progress, please.
Chairman, that will be all for him.
Thank you very much, Leader. I will try and end proceedings very soon. But I want to take you back, and I hope members will permit me. I want to take you back to the economy. Since Leader raised the economy issue. I want to know how you are going to help your minister in trying to resolve the food inflation situation that we have in this country and we've had for the last 8 years. If you look at the inflation numbers, and this is a fact, if you look at the components of inflation that is described as food inflation, it's been the chunk of the inflation numbers that we've had for the last 8 years.